They told us to walk quietly, not because the streets were sacred, but because our footsteps made them nervous. I was 10 when I first learned how silence could be armor. When Mama grabbed my shoulder and whispered, "Don't look them in the eyes, baby." We were just walking past a store. Didn't touch a thing. But the owner came out, eyes sharp like broken glass, and followed us halfway down the block. That was the first time I noticed the cameras. Not the ones in the ceiling. The ones behind car windows, behind curtains, behind fear. They say America is the land of the free, but we carry freedom like a fragile egg in our hands, careful not to drop it, because someone is always ready to blame us for the mess. At school, they taught us about Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King like they were fairy tales, wrapped in neat paragraphs, punctuated with safe applause. But nobody talked about how Rosa was tired long before the bus. Tired of pretending that quiet meant dignity. Tired of sitting in the back, not just of the bus, but of life. And Dr. King. They quoted his dreams, but never his rage. Never the night as he cried, because peace felt like a trick word, used by those who already had power to silence the ones who didn't. I remember one morning, we came to school and Jamal's desk was empty. He'd been stopped the night before, just walking home from the library, hoodie up. Wrong place, wrong color, wrong assumptions. His mother came to class to collect his things. She didn't say a word, and in that silence, we all heard the scream. I once asked my grandfather, "Did it ever get better?" He looked at me, his hands trembling slightly from age or memory. I couldn't tell. He said, "Better comes in waves, son." But the tide always tries to drag us back. He told me how he'd marched with a sign in '68, and how someone spit on him while the news cameras rolled right past. They only see the fire, he said, not the burned hands that tried to put it out. He still keeps the sign in his closet. Faded now, the letters barely visible. I am a man. It shocked me that he had to write that down at all. Like dignity wasn't a birthright, but something black folks had to announce, loudly, just to be heard over the hum of white comfort. Sometimes, I walk through the same neighborhoods where my mother once whispered warnings. The storefronts are shinier now. The coffee shops have French names. The old barber shop is gone, replaced by a boutique that sells candles scented like nostalgia. But I still feel it, that thin layer of tension under the concrete. Like the city smiles with its teeth, but not its heart. They say, "Look how far we've come." But I see how far we've bent. How many backs were bowed to build new towers on land that still remembers our names. There's a mural on 47th Street now. A black boy with wings, eyes toward the sky. Below it, in small print, he could have been anything. But no one says his name anymore. They painted over it. Painted over pain like it was graffiti. Instead of testimony, there was a night, I won't forget it, when the city echoed louder than ever. Helicopters buzzed overhead like insects with metal skin, and the streets pulsed with footsteps, with chants, with fury. We marched, not because we thought it would fix everything, but because silence had become unbearable, because grief left unspoken becomes a bruise too deep for the body. I saw old women holding signs with trembling hands, young kids with chalk drawing names on the asphalt, and fathers with tears running down their faces as they lifted their children onto their shoulders, whispering, "This is for you." And I realized we weren't marching to change a law. We were marching to remember that we were still here, still breathing, still burning, not with rage, but with refusal to vanish. There's a kind of memory that doesn't live in the mind, but in the body. You feel it in the way your shoulders tense when blue lights flash behind you. You feel it when you smile at the clerk so they don't think you're angry. You feel it when you walk into a room and count how many of you are there and how many are not. Some call it paranoia, but we know better. It's survival. It's history written into muscle, into the way your mother taught you to speak to police, into the way your uncle warned you not to run, even if you're scared, especially if you're scared. And yet somehow, through all the warnings and all the weight, we still find ways to laugh, to sing, to build joy like a protest, loud and bright and undeniably alive. There's a boy on my block named Zion. He rides his bike up and down the cracked sidewalk like it's his kingdom. Every turn, every jump, a declaration. I am not afraid to exist. Sometimes I watch him and wonder, how long before the world tries to carve the joy out of him? Before they start calling him threat instead of child? Before someone teaches him to shrink himself just to feel safe? He wears a red cape when he rides, says he's a superhero, and I don't correct him, because in a world like this, every black child who dares to dream, who dares to smile freely, who dares to breathe deeply, is a superhero. Let him fly while he can. Let him believe in invincibility a little longer. Let the wind carry his laughter where our grief once lingered. I remember the stories my grandmother told me, how they used to wear their Sunday best to protest. Pressed shirts, hats, gloves, because if the world insisted on stripping them of dignity, they'd carry their own. She used to say, "We didn't march in rags, baby. We marched in power." Now I see the same fire in new eyes, in the girl with purple braids shouting through a bullhorn, in the young man with headphones and fists raised high, in the murals painted overnight, faces of the fallen looking down on us, reminding us who we are. The struggle has changed its face, but not its bones. We still fight the weight, still fight to be seen whole, still fight for the right to walk home and not be feared, to grow old, to dream without waking up in handcuffs. And through all of it, we carry each other. Some nights, when the city quiets just enough, I can almost hear the footsteps of those who came before us. Their voices hum in the brick walls, in the cracked pavement, in the echo between streetlights, whispers carried in the breeze. Keep going. Don't forget us. Don't stop here. It's not always easy. Some mornings I wake up tired, in a way rest can't fix. Heavy with names I didn't know but now carry like family. But I lace up my shoes anyway, step out into a world that still flinches when it sees me, and I walk. Sometimes for myself, sometimes for those who can't. Always with the hope that my footsteps might one day sound like freedom. I once asked my mother, why do they hate us so much when we've done nothing but survive? She looked out the window, at the rust-colored skyline, then said softly, because survival in this skin is resistance they can't explain. We turn pain into poetry. We turn fear into rhythm. We make joy in the middle of burning. And even when they try to erase our names, our music stays, our laughter stays, our dance, our stories, our light. They all stay. That's what they don't understand, that we were never just trying to exist. We were always building, always rising, always turning ashes into something that breathes. I once asked my mother, will they ever see us as more than shadows on their walls? She turned to me, her eyes heavy with history, and whispered, they see us in fragments, broken pieces meant to be discarded, but they don't know we are the whole story, woven through every crack and crevice. Our roots run deeper than their fear. Our voices rise louder than their silence. We carry the weight of centuries not as chains, but as wings. So when the night feels endless and the world tries to dim our fire, remember, our flame is a revolution. Our breath is a promise, and our steps shake the ground beneath their feet. I asked my mother one last time, after all the storms, all the battles, what is left for us to hold on to? She smiled, tired but unbroken, and said, what is left is everything. Our scars are maps of survival. Our stories are the bridges to futures yet unseen. They cannot take what we build from within. The love that binds us, the dreams that lift us, the hope that never dies. So we stand, not just survivors, but architects of tomorrow. We rise, carrying our ancestors' dreams like fire in our hands, lighting paths through darkness, turning ashes into stars. And in this light, we are infinite.